catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. When up it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? In the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road... ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season, and now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past, and tonight we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Indianapolis Colts taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, these Colts, a trendy pick to get to the Super Bowl prior to the season, and they lived up to the hype and then some. And now they shoot for their second win as residents of Indianapolis and their third Super Bowl title overall.
And conjuring up images of 2007 when they won Super Bowl 41 with one guy named, what was it again?
Peyton
Manning at quarterback when they beat the Bears. Remember, that was played in the rain, and that was also played where?
Miami.
Right here where we are now. And then the Baltimore Colts, they won Super Bowl V over the Dallas Cowboys. Do you remember who kicked the winning field goal in that one?
Ooh,
Come on.
No.
When Jim O'Brien.
Oh, Jimmy boy.
Knocks down the winning field goal, and the Colts win that one over the Cowboys. So this Colts team seeking another Super Bowl title.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are back in the big game for the 5th time in franchise history. But we all know one thing has eluded them all these years.
And that's an actual Super Bowl victory, partner. They're 0-4 in their previous visits. Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. And boy, they had some great teams too, didn't they? Bud Grant was their head coach, Fran Tarkenton at quarterback, Alan Page and the Purple People Eaters on defense. They were all Hall of Famers. And don't forget Paul Krause. He's a very proud member of that great secondary they had. So we're going back more than 40 years since their last visit. You think the state of Minnesota is excited about this one? I know they are. They're ready to get this one going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Pierre Desir in on the stop. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs, because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected, and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
Now this throw caught left side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
12 yards there, first down, Vikings.
tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing, Cousins. He's got Smith here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Throwing is Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
You got block me. You got block me. Hey, 382, let's get him. Gun. Listen to me. Block 59. Hey, box drop. Where's that?
Cousins now. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But now it's 3rd and goal. I can't imagine we'd see another throw here. 3rd and goal from the 1. Cousins to throw it. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And now back out comes the offense. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
On 2nd and 15 now. Brissett, they'll run the screen with Mack. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw is Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. First down, here's the run with Cook. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. on 2nd and 9. Cousins. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, it's Cook. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the 17, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
To throw, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They come up in an offset eye. Cousins. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Brissett sets to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to him back.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bailey got the extra point.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Check out, Reed.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. Dumps this one off to Mack. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Anthony Harris. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The With a never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of...
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They run, Cook, and this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Cousins on target to Diggs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Completes it to Hardman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. His 2nd catch in the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now Cousins, eluding the pressure right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks.
And the pressure gets to him again. Daniil Hunter, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing the golden high tops as well.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time to make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And an alley to run.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field. Defense.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 37.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got something about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. And an alley to run. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 28-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett to the right side to Eric Ebron. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Again, it's Cook. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Hey, you must be getting tired of seeing me.
And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
Yeah.